Hello everyone. So today I, with my co-presenter, will discuss the Region 7, which is Essential Visayas. Objectives. The first one was to identify different major attractions, activities, accommodations, and cultural highlight in the province. Second is to create different tour packages that carry different types of tourism activities. And lastly, to assess as what, which is the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of the region in connection to the four A's of tourism. So let us first know what provinces the Central Visayas comprise. So makikita natin dito na Central Visayas has four provinces, which are the Bohol, Cebu, Siquijor, and Negros Oriental. So Central Visayas has two of the most dynamic tourism-driven destination in the country. So these two tourism-driven destination was Bohol and Cebu, as they are included in the top 10 list of most visited destinations of both local and domestic tourists. When somehow Siquijor is slowly creating noise because of its enchanting natural destination here in the central Philippines. Ports of access. Here's as ports of access. There are three available wherein you can travel by sea, by air, and by land. By sea, the to-go travel offers from Manila to Cebu and vice versa. There are also some shipping companies who also offer daily trips. And in Siquijor, you can access it by three seaports that is located in Lorena Lazi and Siquijor. By air naman, you can travel via Mactan Cebu International Airport since it is the main gateway to the region. The third one is the by land. If you want to travel by land, where you have private vehicles, the province are connected through a network of concrete roads to move around.
So, hello everyone. I am Janice Gallerin. Tara na at tibuti natin ang Bohol. Bohol, splendor, underwaters, and over hills. So, ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng kanilang tagline? So, ang ibig sabihin ng kanilang tagline ay it was a dubbed splendor of underwater and over hills because of scenic Bohol cast, an enigmatic charm draw from the many archaic mementos spread throughout the ovally shaped islands. So, from the chocolate hills and the tertiary to 16th century watchtowers and Jesus Burkis mission churches. So, and the Bohol has have a kumbaga ang mayroon silang lawak ng 534,000 their kanilang business agriculture, business processes outsourcing or BPO, tourism. Then they have one city, the Tagbilaran City, and also they have 47 towns and municipalities. So next, their historical, cultural, and heritage attraction. So first, we have our Blood Compact Memorial, Baclayon Search, and Clarin a Central House, Punta Cruz Watchtower, and Bohol National Museum, syempre, Dagohoy Marker, and their natural action was also known as Chocolate Hills, the Philippine Tarsier Sanctuary, yan mga kilala yan, Lobok River, Panglao Island, Abatan River, Mang Aso Falls. That's their natural attraction. Their built attraction was Hanging Bridge at Sibilia, Bilar Mahogany Forest. So they have two built attraction lang here sa Bohol. So here the accommodation from Bohol. So if you have a budget less than 1,500 per night, so you can visit this hotel or this their accommodation like Alaria Bed and Breakfast, Staylight Park Bed and Breakfast, Treat Guest House, Water Paradise Rest House, Daronday Manor pala, sorry. Then Arabel Suits, West Grand Suits, and Il Portal Inn. If you have a budget naman for 1,500 to 3,000 per night, you can visit the Bilian Hotel, Metro Center Hotel and Convention Center, 717 Cesar Lake Hotel, Q Hotel, Ocean Suite Bohol, Boutique Hotel, Bohol Tropics Resort, Bohol B Farm Hotel, and Diamond Hotel. So that's the accommodation for 1,500 to 3,000. Next, if you have naman a high-end, at least 3,000 per night, so you can visit the Kasagpan Resort, Alona Q White Beach Resort, Panglao Home Resort and Villas, Alona Tropical Beach Resort, The Peacock Garden, yan, maganda dyan, Flashing Meadows Resort, Bohol Beach Club, Hernan Beach Resort, Eskaya Beach Resort, and Spa. So that's the accommodation for Bohol. Here are the food and delicacy in Bohol. So first, we have the peanut kisses. So these small bite cookies have captured the hearts and taste buds of local and visitors, becoming a beloved symbol of Bohol culinary heritage. What are peanut kisses? So they are cookies, so main ingredients are peanut, sugar, and egg whites. Almost nobody goes to Bohol without eating peanut kisses or taking some back at home as pasalubong. Among the native treats and goodies, peanut kisses remains the favorite among the children and adults alike and could be the best pasalubong to your loved ones at home. So, ang peanut kisses ay inspired by famous Hershey Kisses chocolates of the United States. So, the Bolaños made their own version of kisses and fruit. Peanut kisses was conceived. So, ayun na. Yun ang peanut kisses ng Bohol. So next, the food and delicacy from Bohol was barquillos. So ang barquillos naman is made in flour, egg, milk, and sugar that rolled in a cylinder shape. These wafer rolls found at any pasalubong center all over the country, especially in Bacolod. It also best partner in ice cream when you eat the sweet, crunchy, and creamy ice cream are those favorite of kids and for the kids at heart. So ang barquillos po, para siyang type ng isang stick ko po na parang may flavor. So isa parang plain pero matamis naman po ang barquillos from Bohol. Kumbaga bagay po to sa ice cream, ganyan, especially yung mainit na panahon. So kung nasa Bohol ka man or magbabaki sa Bohol, try mong bumili ng barquillos din. I-partner mo sa ice cream. So next, the food and delicacy from Bohol was maruya. So ang maruya naman, these are among the favorite not just to the children but adults as well. Made from saba bananas, deep in a sticky mixtures, fried then rolled in sugar. It is perfect for everybody's snack and healthy too. So ang maruya po, para siyang after nyong maprito or maluto, ipa-fried, hindi siya katulad ng banana cue. Ang banana cue is kasabay na niluluto ay kasabay yung asukal na piniprito. Ito, after maprito nung maruya, parang i-roll nyo sa asukal. Yun ang pinagkaiba ng banana cue. Baka kasi isipin nyo parang banana cue lang doon sa mga hindi man nakakaalam. So yun po ang maruya. Yun ang isa sa pinaka favorite ng mga bata doon sa Bohol, and one of the best delicacy din sa Bohol na palaging tinatry ng mga turista or ng mga natin kapag bumibisita sa Bohol. So yun, maruya. So next, the food and delicacy from Bohol was the bibingka. So siguro naman maraming nakakalam sa bibingka, na kahit naman dito sa atin is parang may nakakain pa din or may gumagawa ng bibingka. Pero iba ang bibingka sa Bohol. So ang bibingka sa Bohol is ano muna ang bibingka? Ang bibingka is a type of baked rice cake from the Philippines that is traditionally cooked in a tetroka oven line with banana leaves and usually eaten for breakfast or as a merienda. Yes, ginagawang agahan or merienda itong bibingkas dito, lalo na dito ating mga Pinoy na mahilig magmerienda or hindi naman sila ganun ka madami kumain pag umaga. So yun, ang bibingka is made from with rice flour, water, and sometimes other ingredients such as butter, sugar, cheese, or coconut, and that is traditionally cooked between banana leaves. So yun, may iba-ibang klase ng flavor ng bibingka na pwede. Merong ubing bibingka siguro na pansin ko, bibingkang kamoteng kahoy. Pag-search ko dito sa according to sa pag-browse ko sa internet, parang mga iba-ibang klaseng bibingka. So yun, try niyo ang bibingka sa Bohol, masarap din. The last food and delicacy from Bohol was the broas. So, broas are more commonly known as lady fingers, broas. So, are sweet treats that originate from town of Bacalon, the pastry capital of Bohol. So, paano nga ba ginagawa ang broas? So, ang broas po is made from mixture of cornmeal and dry or wet flour and leavened with yeast rather than baking powder or baking soda. So, kumbaga parang matigas siya. Ay hindi ganun parang hard texture. Then the Portuguese word broa cognate with the Spanish word boronoa comes from Celtic word borona. So yun. Kumbaga parang nakikita din yan dito sa around sa Naga siguro nakakita ko niyan. I'm not sure baka parehas lang pero parang parang manipis siya na matamis yung ganun. Parang matamis siya na bite size talaga, bite size lang, isang peraso din, bite size na pwede mo lang makain, good for snack siguro yun para sa akin. Yung broas, hindi actually yung broas yung nakain ko, parang type siya nung kasi tawag dito niyan sa Bicol parang, or baka parang may nagtitinda niyan sa Naga na nakita ko so yun. Pero yun ang isa sa isang delicacy ng Bohol, ang broas. So, if ever na makapunta kayo or makapunta man ako, siguro papasalubungan ko na lang kayo ng broas. Yun. Lahat ng mga food and delicacy na diniscuss ko, sasama ko na lang. Papasalubungan ko kayo guys. Don't worry guys. Joke lang. So, yun. So, that's the food and delicacy ng Bohol. Broas, barquillos, bibingka, maruya, then yung last na wait lang, ayun, peanut kisses. So that's the food and delicacy from Bohol. So next, here are the festival and special events in Bohol. So first, we have Bulibong King Festival. So ginaganap to tuwing May 23. A music and dance festival to celebrate the history, folklores, and traditions of the Lobocanons. So, isang festival sa Bohol na pwede nyong bisitahin kada May 23. Well, next was Sambat Mascara Regatta Festival. So, ginaganap naman siya every first Sunday of December. So, matagal-tagal pa to. In honor of Laoi's second patron saint, Francis Xavier. So, ang next na festival and special events in Bohol was Sid Kasilak Festival, August 30 to September 8. So, mahaba ilang araw to. The Festival of Lights to honor the Birhen ng Kasilak, Our Lady of Light, Patroness of Blue. So ayun, yun ang festival and special events in Bohol. So you can visit them if you have a free time, especially hindi naman mabibisit ang iba rito. Ito pa lang Sidlak Kasilak since ang August 30 to September 8 is may para may pasok tayo niyan mga college. Then sa May 23 naman pwede after final exam if makabisita kayo din, go, pasalubong na lang. Then itong Sambat Mascara Regatta Festival, yan, maganda tong festival na to. Nakita ko yung video nito. So yeah, I'm not sure about the history since wala akong nasa-search pa So wait, come up ko na lang, mag-ask na lang kayo sa akin sa personal. Medyo naghahang na laptop ko But so on, this is the festival and special event in Bohol. So, thank you for listening guys. So, I hope you learned something from me. But, kung meron man kayong hindi naintindihan, please, maglapitin nyo na lang ako sa personal. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Medyo nonchalant lang kasi ako sa personal joke lang. So, ayun. Thank you. Well, kita tayo sa Negros Oriental. I'll be reporting that. So, yeah. Thank you. Mag-ask lang kaya if meron kayong hindi naintindihan.
So let us now come in Cebu City, which known as the Queen of the South. So we all know that Cebu City is one of the most popular tourist attraction here in the Philippines. So come with me as we travel here in Cebu City. Cebu City was composed of 482 and 95,000 hectares. Their major industries, shipbuilding, shipping, agriculture, wherein they are popular in mango industry. They also popular in BPO tourism. So Cebu City has 9 cities with 43 towns and municipalities. Let us now jump on sa historical, cultural, and heritage attractions, natural attractions, and built attractions. So dito sa slide na to, we just included the attractions na sikat sa Cebu. Sa historical, cultural, and heritage attractions, the Magellan's Cross, Basilica Minor del Santo Niño, Heritage of Cebu Monument, Lapu-Lapu Monument, Fort San Pedro, and Magellan Marker. Sa natural attraction naman was the Olango Wildlife Sanctuary, Mactan Island, Nonoc Cave, Kawasan Falls, Bantayan Island, and Camotes Island. Here's a built attractions, the Taoist Temple, Bushan Temple, Mandaue Mactan Bridge, Plaza Independencia, Fuente Osmeña Park, and Tops. So let us now jump on sa mga accommodations sa Cebu if you want to travel there. So, para naman sa mga budget-friendly, mid-range, and high-end na mga hotels, so this slide is for you. For budget-friendly na hinahanap nilang na accommodations o mga less than 1.5 per night, these hotels are for you: the Cebu Budget Hotel, Copenhagen East Residence, Leop Hotel, Guadalupe Grove Guest House, Our Suites and Cafe, Pillows Hotel, Pierre Aristo Guest House, Anthurium Inn, Cebu Guest House, GNB Hotel, Europa Mansionette Inn, GV Hotel, and Heritage Inn. For mid-range naman, wherein nagko-cost siya ng 1.5 to 3,000 per night, Bayfront Hotel, Hotel Elizabeth, Crown Regency Hotel, Red Planet, South Pole Central Hotel, Harold's Hotel, The Henry Hotel, Diamond Suites, Alpha City Suites, Cebu Grand Hotel, Golden Prince Hotel, Allure Hotel and Suites, Dohera Hotel, Soto Grande Hotel and Resort. The next one, sa mga high-end naman, for at least 3,000 per night, kung medyo nakakaluwag-luwag ka, this is for you: Marco Polo Plaza Hotel, Radisson Blu, Movenpick Hotel Mactan Island, Cebu, Candaya Resort, Waterfront Cebu City Hotel and Casino, Mandarin Plaza Hotel, Cebu Park Lane International Hotel, Shangri-La Mactan Resorts and Spa, Marriott Hotel Cebu, Plantation Bay Resort and Spa. On the screen above, makikita natin ang food and delicacies ng mga Cebuanos, which is the dried mangoes, binignet, lechon, chorizo de Cebu, and danggit. So, kapag sinasabi natin na Cebu, diyan ang may pinakamasarap na lechon. And alam niyo ba yung dried mangoes? Ang dried mangoes is the ripe mangoes na pinatuyo. Ang binignet dito sa atin is ginataan. Ang chorizo naman, kung dito sa atin, it is also known as longganisa. And danggit, it is dried pusit. And all these food and delicacies na dito sa screen na to, ito ang pinakasikat na mga delicacies sa Cebu. So here, in the next screen, in the screen above, was the festivals and special events. So we just picked 3 festival and special events in Cebu, wherein this 3 was the most popular in Cebu. The first one was the Sinulog Festival. It is conducted every 3rd Saturday of January. It is one of the most popular festivals of the Philippines in honor of Señor Santo Niño. The second one is the Nagat Festival. It was conducted every August 16. Celebrates the livelihood and fishing culture of the town of Cordova in honor of their patron saint, Señor San Roque. The third one was the Kadaugan sa Mactan, It is conducted April 22 to 27. It commemorates the historic battle between Ferdinand Magellan and Mactan chieftain Lapu-Lapu.
So now, let us explore and discover the province of Siquijor. Siquijor is known as a healing paradise and mystical island of the Philippines because they promote the island's traditional culture and they recognize as a center of mystic power and a capital of mystic activities and black magic. Siquijor is known for the infamous Agimat and Gayuma. Siquijor composed a land area of 33,749 hectares. Their major industry are trading, livestock, poultry, furniture, and fishing. Siquijor has no city but has six towns and municipalities. Let's discover the attraction in Siquijor. In historical, cultural, and heritage attraction, the first one is the Church of Saint Francis of Assisi. It is the first and oldest parish founded in the province. Next is San Isidro Labrador Church. It is also known as Lassie Church. Lastly is the Kang Isuk Old House. It is a century-old house built on the shore, considered as the oldest surviving house in the province. In natural attraction, they have Cambuhagay Falls, Cantabon Cave, Tolapos Marine Sanctuary, San Juan Beaches, Mount Bandilaan Nature Park, and Old Balete Tree. These are the accommodation in Siquijor. So they have a budget-friendly accommodation that is less than 1,500 pesos per night. They also have a mid-range accommodation that ranges from 1,500 to 3,000 per night. And also they have a high-end accommodation that at least 3,000 pesos per night. So it's depend on you na kung ano yung pipiliin mo. So these are the food and the delicacies in Siquijor. The first one is torta. It's a bread pastry and it is a local name derived from Spanish term of cake. Next is peanut balls, are small round sweets made from roasted peanut and sugar. Next is native bread, also known as pan bisaya, a bread made through the traditional way of baking bread with the use of native oven. Next is banana crackers, so it's like banana chips made from locally grown bananas. And lastly is salwaki, or in English is sea urchin. It is one of the unique delicacies in Siquijor. It has a delectable meat inside and they ate it by dipping in vinegar. Festival and special events in Siquijor. The first one is the Laab Festival, celebrated every 1st of October, a celebration of the distinct hospitality of the Siquihodnons in honor of their patron saint, Saint Francis of Assisi. Next is Solili Festival, celebrated every 17th of September, known as the highlights of the Araw ng Siquijor celebration to reminisce the tradition in Lassie Siquijor and pay tribute to the newlywed couples. Lastly is Lubi Festival, celebrated every 21st of May. The municipality of Maria Siquijor celebrates lubi or coconut trees as their major source of livelihood.
Hi, it's me again, Janice Calderin. So now, let's explore the Negros Oriental. So ano pang hinintay nyo? Tara na! At libutin ang Negros Oriental. So, Negros Oriental. Their tagline was Whale and Dolphin Haven. So, gano'n nga ba kalaki ang Negros Oriental? So, 538,553 hectares. Ang kanilang economy was sugar, agriculture, and fishing livestock. They have 6 cities and 19 towns and municipalities. So, their main cities, I guess, was the Dumaguete City. So, here are the historical, cultural, and heritage attraction in Negros Oriental. So, we have two. the Silliman University, and then the Dumaguete Bell and Bell Tower and Cathedral. So yan ang mga historical nila. So ang cultural, historical attraction ng Negros Oriental. Then next, their natural attraction. Bubulol pa ako. Ang una ay ang Casaroro Falls, Lake Balanan, Apollo Island, Mabinay Caves, and White Sandbar, Mang Jude, and Dolphin Watching Bais. So that's their natural attraction. So I'm sorry guys, I can't provide the pictures. Hindi ako makapag-provide ng pictures since may na ang internet ko. But you can search it naman sa internet. So yung sorry ma'am, kulang sa then. So that's the natural attraction of Negros Oriental. So you can search it na lang para makita nyo. Pero nakita ko na siya before, maganda naman sa internet. I'm not sure if anong masasabi mo sa personal, since baka mali natin di ma-meet yung mga expectation natin. So ayun, you have your own perspective na or opinion about dun sa place na yun. So for me, maganda naman lahat. Yes, parang super super old, parang medyo parang maganda sa paningin ko, since I love the old theme na mga parang culture na pinupuntahan, mga attraction. Yan. Their culture din, siyempre mas maganda din. So that's the historical, cultural, and heritage attraction and natural attraction in Negros Oriental. So here the accommodation for Negros Oriental. Then if you have a budget less than 1,500 per night, then you can visit the Go Hotels Dumaguete, Hostel Tropical, White Chocolate Hills Resort, Hotel Nicanor, Hotel Palwa, Manhattan Suite Inn, C&L View Inn, and Cubs Beach Resort. So that's the budget for less than 1,500 per night. Then the mid-range was also 1,500 to 3,000 per night. So you can visit this Antulang Beach Resort, Hotel Essentia, Well Beach Dive Resort, Cave Sand Beach and Dive Resort, La Residencia at Mar Hotel, Gracie Dive Resort, and Casa Margarita. Margarita, yan. Yung mga pwede mong bisitahin kapag pumisita ka, pwede ka magstay kapag pumunta ka na sa Oriental. So mga high-end naman, so at least 3,000 pataas na per night. Then pwede ka nang dito ka na lang for the accommodation, the Atlantis Dive Resort, Salaya Beach House, Sea Dream Resort, Atmosphere Resort, yan, maganda dyan, With Home Condo Resort, and Bahura Resort and Spa, Bravo Resort, then Santa Monica Beach Resort. So that's the accommodation. So pwede kayo depende sa kung anong mode ng service na gagamitin nyo, air and land lang ang feel kong yes, yun, air and land lang ang meron na accommodation for go to Negros Oriental. If mali man ako, well, hindi ko kasi siya masyadong na-search eh. So ang alam ko lang, since yung tita ko nakapunta na doon, ang alam niya lang is type of modes ng papuntang Negros Oriental was airplane and yun, van kapag may aarkilahin kayo na papunta doon. But I prefer na mag-airplane na lang kayo since para mas mabilis. So that's the accommodation for Negros Oriental. So here the food and delicacy in Negros Oriental. So first we have the Silvanas. Excuse me. So ang Silvanas po, Silvanas is a delicacy that a Dumaguiteño can be proud of thanks to San Rival cake and pastry. So sila po ang gumagawa nito. So so far it is the most popular pasalubong in the city and the best Silvanas in the country. So ito ang pinaka sikat din na food or best pasalubong sa Dumaguete kapag bumisita kayo doon. Then this is the pastry of choice for those who appreciate a good dessert. So ang silbanas po are kumbaga parang serve siya na sineserve siya sa'yo na frozen if kakainin mo siya doon mismo. Kumbaga then ang texture naman po ng silbanas parang crunchy po sa labas. Kumbaga parang binudburan ng something na cookie powder na parang yung ginagamit na gagawa ng ano ang tawag dito? Ano ang tinatawag dito? Yung ginagawa na paborito ng lahat. Basta yung parang pang-bake na biscuit ganon. So crunchy outside then melting inside. Melting soft the inside. So kumbaga ang flavor niya po is kumbaga ang feeling niya po is buttercream. So talagang malalasap mo talaga ang silbanas. Kumbaga yun ang silbanas. I'm sorry, medyo hindi kasi ako familiar dito kasi hindi ko naman to na try pa. But yeah, so yun po ang silbanas. I hope you understand naman kung ano yung ibig kong sabihin. But yun nga, silbanas, one of the best. For me not, but depende. Pero yun ang mga best food and delicacy sa Negros Oriental. So the next food and delicacy from Negros Oriental was Sanribal. So ang Sanribal po are kumbaga siya yung kumbaga parang same nung silbanas pero ibang way kung paano ginawa. So ang Sanribals po literal translate something like no rival. And seem kumbaga na its origin during the Filipino and Spanish colonial era. So kumbaga probably a few dessert can rival it in a preparation needed to come out with this Dumaguete creation. So ang Sanribal is kumbaga it looks like a layer of meringue, icing, sugar, butter and cashew nuts. It look like it's a painstakingly reviews to get the layers in the right amount, order and consistency. So ang silbanas is parang cookie po yun. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. Parang cookie. Yun. And then yun. Hindi ko pa naman po kasi alam ko ang Sanribals. But ang Sanribals po kasi is tapos silbanas kumbaga isang shop lang po ang gumagawa nun. So yun doon sa shop na yun kumbaga dinudumog yung dalawang product na yun para sa mga gustong magpasalubong pag uwi nila doon sa kanilang trante. So yun ang silbanas and Sanribal ay same boat na ginagawa ng isang shop which is yung sinabi ko kanina na the cake yung sinabi ko kanina na yung sinabi ko kanina yung shop nila. So yan, Sanribal's Cake and Pastry. So yun po doon po ginagawa ang silbanas and Sanribal. So yan, the two delicacy and food and delicacy in Negros Oriental. Excuse me. So we have two more pa na food and delicacy na i-explain ko sa inyo kung ano yun, then kung paano ginawa sa nagsimula. So next, here are one of the food and delicacy in Negros Oriental, ang budbud kabog. So another version of this delicacy is the budbud kabog. It's not the usual suman. It's made of millet in lieu of glutinous rice. So ang glutinous rice po, ito po yung kumbaga pag naluluto na is sticky po siya, yung parang pulot kung dito sa Bicol region, yung tinatawag na pulot rice. Yun po ang kumbaga main na paggawa ng budbud kabog. So being the main ingredient po. So yun po ang main ingredient ng kabog, belongs to a group of related plants that produce small pearl-like texture. So yun po ang budbud kabog na yun ang pinaka main niyang ingredients is yung glutinous rice. So yan, parang iba rin ang lasa niyan. If ever na matikman, I feel ko iba rin ang lasa niyan compare sa suman na nakakain natin, since ang suman na bibili natin here sa Bicol was parang hindi siya ganun ka-sticky. So here parang malapot siya na hindi ko maintindihan eh. So hindi ko masabi sa inyo ng diretsahan yung word. Malapit na sa dila ko eh. So yun ang budbud kabog. Hindi ko na siya masyadong pahabain pa since na pwede na ako tanongin sa personal kung ano nga ba yun since mahina yung signal ko, so hindi ko ma-search. So I'm sorry for hindi medyo prepare, but yan ang budbud kabog. Ang main ingredients na is yung glutinous rice or sticky rice kapag naluluto na. So ano din to, ang budbud kabog is quite expensive kapag binili mo kapag pumunta ka dun sa Negros Oriental. So yan, budbud kabog, Silvanas and San Ribal. Meron tayong tatlo na pag natalakay na food and delicacy in Negros Oriental. So here are the last food and delicacy in Negros Oriental we have to tackle was. So next, last food and delicacy in Negros Oriental was the Dumaguete Express. So ang Dumaguete Express po is kumbaga a local version of a spicy Bicol Express, but ang ano po nila, ang ginagamit is yung cooked with seafood and crispy pork and their baked oysters. So yun po ang Dumaguete Express na kumbaga may pagmamalaki din ng Negros Oriental. So yun ang ingredients kung paano gumawa ng yung mga sangkap na mga main na sangkap kapag gagawa ng Dumaguete Express. So yun ang last and food delicacy ng Negros Oriental. Yun lang naman, madali mo lang naman magigets yung mga ingredients na dapat na gamitin kapag gagawa ka ng Dumaguete Express. So yun, I'm not sure kung paano yung pasunod na procedure since may iba-iba nakita ko dito na iba-iba yung inuuna, iba-iba yung way kung paano lutuin. So at least alam natin kung ano yung mga ingredients na kailangan kapag gagawa na ng Dumaguete Express. So that's all. That's are the four food and delicacy in Negros Oriental: the Silvanas, the San Rival, the budbud kabog, and lastly the Dumaguete Express. So that's all. See you sa festival and special events ng Negros Oriental. So here the festival and special event in Negros Oriental. So first we have Buglasan Festival. So they celebrated second week of October, the mother of all festival in the province. The next is Sandurot Festival. Sineselebrate naman siya every third week of November in honor of patroness of Dumaguete, Santa Catalina de Alejandria, and to celebrate hospitality and harmony in the city. Next is Tawo-Tawo Festival, February 18. So kumbaga natapos na siya noong February 18 last month, and also known as the Scarecrow Festival. So that the three festival and special event in Negros Oriental. So I hope you learned something from Bilabad. So by teaching the Bohol and Negros Oriental, and also hindi ako sigurado kung naintindihan niyo masyado, but thank you. I thank you in advance if you have nakuhang knowledge dun sa report ko. So that's all. Yun lamang ang aking i-report sa Region 7 is the Bohol and Negros Oriental.
So let us now come on the major cultural groups. Major cultural groups in the region are the Cebuanos and Boholanos. Cebuano used the largest ethnic group in the Philippines, but is currently only next to the Tagalog. The Cebuano constitutes the major ethnic population and cultural influence in southern Philippines, making Cebuano the lingua franca of southern Philippines. Sa Boholano naman, the Boholano speaks a variation of Cebuano with minor changes in pronunciation. Whatever remains of their traditional culture has long been gone. Their dialect is a similar variation of Cebuano with minor changes in pronunciation. Southern Bohol is known for unique hunting specializations for whales, dolphin, sharks, and mantas.
The major industry in the region includes agriculture, as the primary crops of Central Visayas are rice, coconut, sugarcane, and corn; fishery, as this is their main source of income; shipping, they deliver domestic goods and supports the movement of goods and products that is essential to the country's development; and tourism, because the region included in the top 10 most visited destination. So this indicate how influx of visiting tourists to the region contributes to the local economy.
So here are the language and dialects spoken in Region 7. Major language and dialects spoken include Cebuano, Porohanon, Boholano, and English. So I have example in Cebuano. So here the example na language na I did research on internet kung ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng mga word na to. Mga short word lang naman. So first is gihigugmatika. So nalaman ko anong ibig sabihin nun dun sa isang segment sa Showtime. So it was ang ibig sabihin ng gihigugmatika in Tagalog was I love you, ay mahal kita, or in English I love you. So yun ang ibig sabihin ng gihigugmatika. So next was the suruy ugma sa amo ang balay. So ang ibig sabihin naman po niyan sa Tagalog is gumala ka sa bahay bukas. Ang sunod naman example ko dito is laag ta ugma sa SM. So ang ibig sabihin naman po niyan sa Tagalog ay gala tayo bukas sa SM. And etong last was in other words from Cebuano na nahanap ko was asa ka muadtoma. So ang ibig sabihin niyan is saan ikaw pupunta mama. So naintindihan po ba yung mga Cebuano dialect na ano ko? So yun ang mga Cebuano dialect na nahanap ko or na research ko para since naman na malaman nyo kung paano, kung halimbawa may Cebuano yung friend na makilala din, ganon. So at least alam niyo na kung ano ibig sabihin. So next na Boholano. Meron din ako dito mga example. Wait. So here naman sa Bohol was thank you very much naman. Maraming salamat was salamat kaadyo. So sa next, anong iyong pangalan, halimbawa ako ngan kay Jan Ezekiel Yurin, ganyan. Then ang walang anuman or you're welcome was way sapayan. Then ang no or hindi sa kanila is di ganyan. Then ang paalam was ngari nami or adto nami, ganon. So kapag humingi ng tulong, yan, tabang yan ang mga Boholano words or words by words lang, hindi sentence by sentence. Then wait, tapos kapag tinatanong ka naman ko kung ano ang yung pangalan, well, ang sasagot mo lang ay, or kung magtatanong ka ng taga Bohol kung ano ang pangalan or by Boholano dialect was ganito. Bawa, what is your name, or ano yung pangalan, tinanong mo yung sa tao. Ang kapag sa Bohol naman is unsay imungan or unsay ngan nimo. Yun ang ibig, or yun ang what is your name in English. So yun, kapag look out or tumingin or kumbaga mag-ingat ka, like something ganyan, is pagbantay. So lima naman magandang umaga is maadjong buntag. Kapag gabi naman maadyong gabi. Gabi pala. Yan, gabi. Maadyong buntag, maadyong gabi. Ganyan. Tapos kapag good night, maadyong gabi. Then kapag inaantok ka na, then ang ibig sabihin sa kanila, inaantok, I'm sleepy, katugon na ako. Kapag hindi, alam mo, ang word na hindi mo naintindihan, wa ko kasabot. So yun ang Boholano na hindi ko naintindihan. Tapos kapag asan ang palikuran or where is the toilet is asa dapit ang Casillas. So, yun ang Boholanon yun ang Boholanon dialect na research ko kung anong mga Boholanon ang ibig sabihin, kung ano ang word in Boholanon to Tagalog or English nito na in Boholanon ganyan, where's the toilet, asa dapit ang Casillas, ganon. So yun ang mga Boholanon word. Ayok na naintindihan niya. Then sa Purhanon naman, wala akong masyadong nahanap na example. So I'm sorry guys. So yun lang. At least may natutunan kayo sa dialect ng Cebuano and Boholanon. So sa English, well, medyo may mga marami din ang nag-English mga taga Negros Oriental, since may mga matatalino rin ng mga tao doon. But sa isang dialect na Purhanon, wala akong mahanap na example. So ayun lang.
Travel trivia. Did you know that Central Visayas is the second smallest region in the Philippines with a total land area of 14,923 square kilometers? This constitutes about 5% of the country's land area. Central Visayas region lies at the center of the Philippine archipelago between the major islands of Luzon and Mindanao. It is bounded on the north by the Visayan Sea, on the east by the Camotes Sea, and on the south by the Mindanao Sea, and on the west by the province of Negros Occidental. Borders in the regions are based on political boundaries. Geography check. So by geography checking, you should identify where the province is located in the screen above. So kung nakinig kayo sa aming report, of course, masasagot niyo po ito. So, in the screen above, pinapakita dito yung kapuluan kung saan nalulocate yung 4 provinces na kinokompromise ng Central Visayas, which is the Bohol, Cebu, Negros Oriental, and the Siquijor. So, on the next slide, malalaman doon kung nasaan nalulocate yung mga lugar na yon, yung mga provinces na yon. So this is where our report ends. If you see this, thank you because you are here in the last part of our journey. Once again, thank you for coming with us and exploring the Region 7, which is the Central Visayas. Hope to see you in the next adventure.